Can't get enough gigantic V8s? Dream of huge smoky burnouts? Then by golly, you need yourself a muscle car. From storied classics to modern day dragsters, the list of possibilities is incredible. But which one? Whether you're craving looks, performance, or dare I say value? Ideal Media has you covered. This is a list of 6 muscle cars for under 10K. And if you haven't yet, be sure to tag that subscribe button to stay tuned. Otherwise, it's great to see you guys again. Let's go. Can I just say something really quick? I gotta thank you guys for supporting Ideal Media. Like, I can't thank you guys enough because without your support, I wouldn't be able to be doing my dream job. Love all you guys. Thank you for being here during these super difficult times, and we hope that we bring 10 minutes or so of entertaining content a few times a week to your lives. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox. Let's go. Yeehaw! Y'all ready to wrangle up some horses? Well then saddle up, cowboy, cause we're talking about the C5 Corvette. Loved by Floridians, drag racers, and car enthusiasts everywhere. The Chevy Corvette is one of the most iconic muscle cars ever built. With a 5.7 liter V8 producing 345 horsepower sitting right behind the front axles, in front of a fancy torque tube transaxle setup, the C5 Corvette achieves a perfect, just like me, 50-50 weight distribution. You know, 50% up here and 50%, well, maybe a little bit more down there. But can it do a burnout? You bet your last set of golf clubs it can. Duh. It's a vet. In fact, it's very much in its natural habitat, whether it's sprinting 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, chopping down trees at stoplights, or just evaporating its rear tires, which isn't cheap, but so much fun. This is a true muscle car, but still modern and daily drivable. The C5 is far from just a pretty face, packing a bunch of muscle. But this beauty has some brains too. Chevy used weight shaving materials like sheet molding compound, or SMC, for many C5 body panels. And this, paired with its weight distribution, made the C5 Corvette miles ahead of its predecessor when it came to carving up the track. Numerically, it's good for 1 full G on the skid pad, and that was a company benchmark at its time. And if your budget's 9K, you could strap yourself into this 03 C5, drive to the drag strip, devour the quarter mile in 12.9 seconds, and then drive home. Let's see you do that in your Beamer. But I need to mention one thing. For those seeking an even faster, lighter, and more brutal C5, the Z06 was built for you and me. But you're not gonna find one for under $10,000. But hear me out. If you're shopping for $10,000 C5s, I personally think it's worth it to save a little more cash for the Z06. See, the one to get is at least a 2002, which pumped out 405 horsepower from its tuned LS1, weighing in at a skimpy 3,100 pounds. And the best part, it comes with rear tires that are over 12 inches wide. Whoa. And you can slam gears all the way to a 4-second 0 to 60 time. So I think I got you convinced that the C5 Z06 is the ultimate C5. But if you're not ready to take the plunge just yet, or you just don't have the cash readily available, do yourself a solid and check out a regular C5. You're not gonna regret it. And use the Ideal Car strategies if you wanna get a Z06 for almost what you'd pay for a regular C5. In terms of performance, the sky is truly the limit with an LS platform. So you guys out there that are gonna spend 10K on an 02 to 07 WRX, promise me you'll at least go drive a Vet. Unless of course you prefer another iconic muscle car that's also under 10K. I don't know what it is about an FBody Camaro, but I've never seen one before hearing it first. They are loud and proud. But no wonder, it's got plenty of hand-me-down parts from its big brother, the Corvette. The F-Body is an excellent example of pure muscle car, and it's so pure. It doesn't look like $1 million, and it doesn't provide the most luxurious ride, but who cares? It'll always burn tires, throw you back in your seat, and expel menacing sounds in its wake. This bad boy is powered by the same LS1 5.7 liter V8 as the C5 Vet. That makes it sort of a baby C5, right? One thing you gotta note is that if you're shopping for an F-Body, make sure you get a 98 or newer, because they're all packing an LS1 under the hood, spitting out 305 horsepower, which is 25 more than the previous model years with the LT1 V8. And that same LS1 will sound incredible, rocketing you to highway speeds in 5.1 seconds, which is a healthy half second faster than the LT1. And for the muscle car guys as enthralled with quarter mile times as cops are with donuts, these later model F-Bodies rumble down the quarter mile in 13.5 seconds at 101 miles per hour. And that's stock. Remember, this is a Chevy, so aftermarket parts are readily available and they are cheap. Now, you do have to make some decisions. You could get a coupe or a convertible, and either a manual or an automatic transmission, which if you want to save the manuals, go snag one of our limited Ideal Ts. Also, if you're looking to build an absolute track monster, the Z28 is the most capable platform. Basically, the F-Body has a little bit of something for everyone, just like Costco, minus the membership. And for under 10K, it's definitely an ideal muscle car. Wait, I almost forgot. It's also important to note that not all F-Bodies came with a V8 motor. So before you pull the trigger, make sure that you look for either a Z28 or an SS model. Now, check out this rad machine for only $5,000. $5 grand gets you this silver convertible equipped with the renowned LS1. For that price, what could go wrong? I think it's a great investment in a very exciting future. Although the next muscle car on this list takes horsepower almost literally. The new Edge Mustang needs no real introduction, as numerous scenes of its exploits have flooded both the internet and our streets. But this isn't just any GT Stang. Oh no. Sporting a beefier rear end and 80 more horsepower, the SVT Cobra power slides even further into serious muscle car territory. Its introduction in 1999, however, didn't go as smoothly as planned.
The new Ford Mustang moves even faster with 2.9 financing.
See, Ford claimed that the Cobra's 4.6 liter V8 was capable of 320 horsepower. And when you make a claim like that, you should be able to back it up. But soon after consumers got their hands on them, they discovered that this engine was putting out, well, roughly 285 horsepower. And let's just say you don't want to piss off new Mustang owners. So the Ford Motor Company had to fix the problem. And they recalled every single 1999 model year Cobra and had Ford engineers perform surgery to make it have those 320 ponies that it said it would. Nice job, Ford. Nice job, Ford. Good job. Now, with the true 320 horses, this Cobra snarls to 60 from a dead in 4.8 seconds. And if you don't lift the go pedal, the quarter mile comes in 13.5 seconds. Now that's ideal. Just don't expect to stop quickly afterwards. Somehow the Cobra shares a majority of its brake components with the GT and the V6 versions. Ouch. But one thing, thankfully, the Cobra doesn't share with its more humble brethren is its independent rear suspension. That ought to help to keep it out of crowds. Now, let's talk price. In 2001, the MSRP for a convertible Cobra was $33,205. And today, they average about 12,000 bucks. But I found this one for less than $9,000. And just the fact that you can get a 320 horsepower Cobra for less than 10 grand makes me interested. The SVT Cobra is one rad Mustang. Iconic, attainable, and powerful. Plus, if you bought one, it would almost be as good looking as its owner. But it's kind of old, the Cobra, that is. What about something that isn't old enough to vote? I might have something in mind. The OG 1970 Dodge Challenger weighed 3,800 pounds. And 50 years later, in a bunch of homemade meatloaf, it gained almost 400 more pounds. That's the weight of a piano. Or 2 manhole covers. Or like one sumo wrestler. That's a lot of weight. Yes, I agree, it hasn't exactly aged like fine wine, but the present RT Challenger is undoubtedly a modern muscle car. With its big body, Hemi V8 up front, and thirst for 93 octane, the RT certainly keeps up with tradition. Looking past its size and heritage, the third generation Challenger has an actual boatload of modern technology, ergonomics, and muscle. But what separates the RT from the other muscle cars on this list? Well, I never thought you'd ask. Let's talk Hemi. For those of us that didn't know, Hemi is short for hemispherical combustion chamber. It's layman's terms for the piston heads are rounded instead of flat. This creates the opportunity to fit larger valves, helping the engine breathe more efficiently. And the more efficient an engine breathes, the more horsepower it can put out. And this is a recipe for success because Chrysler's been using this design in some capacity since the early 1950s. And they've done their research. The 2008 Challenger RT had a whopping 6.1 liter Hemi V8 producing 425 horsepower. And believe me, it needs every one of those last ponies to move its large mass, or ass. This big boy lumbers up to 60 miles per hour in under 5 seconds. And if you like switching your own gears and hitting that perfect shift, you're gonna wanna get an 09 or newer so you can get the manual. And here's an 09 RT Challenger that doesn't have the manual, but it does leave you enough money in your bank to pay for gas, which you're gonna want because these things are a ton of fun to drive. Now, we live in a world of lower displacement and fewer pistons, all for the sake of reducing emissions and increasing efficiency. So it's music to my ears to hear the sound of true muscle coming from a modern car. But to many muscle car enthusiasts, it's not just about the sound that it makes, but also the feeling that that car evokes when you sit in the pilot seat. Whenever I see a Trans Am, I almost half expect to see the camera crew for Smokey the Bandit in tow. This vehicle is practically a rock star disguised as a muscle car. And what's better is that yes, you could own one for under 10K. I bet you didn't know that when you woke up this morning. Neither did I. But if you want to join the likes of Will Ferrell, Chuck Norris, and even Steve McQueen, then you want to get yourself into a Trans Am because all those guys have racked up seat time in one. Now, it can get a little confusing when you're looking at them for sale because they ran for 11 production years and had 14 different power plants. Yeah, 14. What car comes with 14 different engines nowadays? Psych. Like none. And as far as those engines range, the lowest performance is a 4.1 inline six producing 100 horsepower to the gargantuan 7.5 liter V8, good for 325 horsepower and a sub 7 second 0 to 60. However, the beauty of the Trans Am continues beyond its engine. Close that hood, just take a step back and admire the slightly elongated FBody chassis. It's guaranteed to get more attention than a puppy. So, you think that's rad? Yeah, because it is. But check this out. Here's a 73 Solar Gold Trans Am with T-tops. Look at those fender vents and hood scoop. This screams ideal muscle, and it's just 11K. But wait, Brad, didn't you say that these muscle cars were supposed to be under 10K? Darn right I did, but that's exactly where you can use the ideal car strategies and get this thing for under 10. It may take some effort, but this engaging muscle is definitely worth it. Okay, so setting nostalgia aside right now. So, what do Australians love more than perfect waves, chicken parmigiana, and rugby matches? That's easy. Burnouts. Duh. I think it's safe to say that Aussies love burnouts, almost as much as Americans love producing big V8 powered muscle cars. So what would happen if Holden, an Australian subsidiary to GM, put their sticky little fingers into the Corvette's part spin? Well, Brad, you'd get one hell of a mean machine. The Pontiac GTO. If you want to shred tires in a big ol' American V8 and still have a few bucks in your pocket, well, the Pontiac GTO is the answer to your prayers. Also called the Holden or Vauxhall Monaro in other countries, this legend is sold all over the world. Way back in the early 1960s, the name GTO was suggested to Pontiac by an engineer by the name of John DeLorean. Yeah, that DeLorean. Like the DMC DeLorean from Back to the Future. Yeah, that guy used to work at Pontiac, and it was possibly done to pay homage to the racer incredibly dominant at the time, the Ferrari 250 GTO. The first production run started in 1964 and went all the way to 1974, and the second 2004 to 2006. Whether it stands for Gran Turismo Omologato in Italian or Grand Tempest option is still in contention. Either way, the Australians are 100% responsible for assembling the GTO in Elizabeth, South Australia. And they created a muscle car that was capable of transforming gasoline into pure joy. And it's no wonder, thanks to them using the legendary LS1 and LS2 power plants, coming in with 385 horsepower in the 2004 model and a 400 horsepower 6-liter in the 05 and 06 model years. And that little engine that could punted this car from 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. I kind of like this one actually. And check this out, it's red, it's fast, and it's 9K. American muscle from the land down under? Sign me up. Also, aesthetically, some might think that it's sort of it kind of does look like a Chevy Cavalier, but don't be fooled. This is a Corvette part spin special. For example, the front brakes, Corvette, along with a bunch of other small aesthetic modifications. And you know what makes this an ideal muscle car? Smiles per gallon. And I guess getting into one pretty cheap doesn't hurt either. All right, so now that you got all the deets on some freaking sweet muscle cars, it's time for me to choose my ideal one. They can all do great burnouts, and they're all pretty quick. But I gotta say that my favorite on this list is the C5 Corvette. Mr. Midlife Crisis Mobile has both the power and balance, and it looks so good as well as classic with those pop up and down headlights. If I could swing it, I'd get the Z06, but you guys already knew that. That's my pick. Let me know which one you would pick. Also, let me know what I forgot. And if you're new here, my name is Brad Danger, and please smash that subscribe button. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you dislike the video, don't just hit the dislike button once, hit it twice. Really let us know that you dislike it. And Ideal fam, I had a lot of fun hanging out with you today. And remember, keep living the ideal lifestyle. Yeehaw! Mohawks and mustaches, baby.